71 patients suspected to have contracted the coronavirus admitted to IDH. Doctors say there were no confirmed cases. Condition of the students taken to the Atalava from Wuhan. President orders full probe into allegations over Airbus deal. No joint leaders for the alliance. Mahinda is the only leader. A statement from Shehan Semasinghe. Maitri Gunaratne's United National Freedom Front to contest separately at the general election.
A very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to Primetime News coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka. Let's take a look at the stories in detail now. It is reported that the Chinese national female receiving treatment at the IDH for the coronavirus is recovering. The Deputy Director of the hospital, Dr. Chinta Suryarachi, said that after the results of the final report, which was done according to the international standards, are obtained, the patient will be sent to her country of origin.
The IDH noted that 68 patients who are suspected to have contracted the coronavirus have been admitted to the hospital. The Deputy Director of the hospital noted that a group had already been discharged after obtaining medication. It has been confirmed that the group that was discharged had not contracted the coronavirus. She also confirmed that the husband of the Chinese national patient has also not contracted the coronavirus. 2 medical tests that have been carried out on the Chinese national who is receiving treatment at the IDH has confirmed that she is not carrying the virus in her body. However, the Deputy Director of the hospital noted that the third report should also confirm that she is clear of the virus.
Coronavirus.
There have been close to 70 patients who were admitted to the hospital. We were able to identify that one person was infected with the virus. She has now gotten better. There are 3 tests that need to be carried out. We are conducting the third one today.
තවත් පරීක්ෂණයකට 3ක් කරන්න ඕනේ. 3 වෙනි පරීක්ෂණය අද තමයි එයාගේ සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ.
33 students who arrived in the country from Wuhan in China aboard a Sri Lankan Airlines flight have been placed at 2 new buildings constructed at the Diatalava Army camp for a duration of 14 days.
අපි දැන් සිටින්නේ විශේෂිත වූ රෝහල් පරිශ්‍රයක. ඉතින් අපි සියලු දෙනා මේ වෙනුවට සෞඛ්‍යාරක්ෂිතව පසු වෙනවා. මේ වෙන විටත් අපි නිරෝධායන කටයුතු වලට සහභාගී වෙමින් ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් ශ්‍රී ලංකා රජයට, ශ්‍රී ලංකා තානාපති කාර්යාලයට, වගේ වූ ශ්‍රී ලංකා එයාර්ලයින්ස් අනතුරුව ශ්‍රී ලංකා ගුවන් හමුදාවට, ඒ වගේම ශ්‍රී ලංකා යුද හමුදාව මගින් අපි වෙනුවෙන් වචනයකින් හරි උදව් උපකාර කරපු සියලු දෙනාටම අපි ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
Meanwhile, a spokesperson attached to the Medical Research Institute noted that there is a dearth of doctors at the research unit of the institute and further stated that there are only 2 doctors carrying out duties at the moment. The spokesperson noted that blood and saliva samples of suspected corona patients are sent to the MRI on a daily basis. The MRI has made a request from the Ministry of Health to provide 2 more doctors to carry out the research activities. Thereby, the Health Ministry has allocated 2 additional doctors to the MRI. However, they have not reported to work thus far. The test carried out for the coronavirus takes 8 hours. 3 Sri Lankan aircraft carrying 141 passengers have arrived in the country from China. There are 39 Chinese nationals among these passengers. The duty officer at the airport noted that the flights arrived from Chengdu, Guangzhou and Beijing.
With the group from Wuhan, 705 students have arrived in Sri Lanka. There are students who are contemplating whether to go to Sri Lanka or not. We would like to inform that they can remain here safely if they wish to stay. And if they wish to go to Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan embassy will provide the required support.
අපි ඒකට අවශ්‍ය අදාළ වැඩ කටයුතු කරලා දෙන්න ලෑස්ති වෙලා ඉන්නවා.
One person from the Philippines died from the new coronavirus. This is the first coronavirus death reported out of China.
The victim was a 44-year-old Chinese national who was receiving treatment at a hospital in Manila, Philippines. The patient was a Chinese man from Wuhan in Hubei province, where the virus was first detected. The total number of deaths reported so far is 305. There are over 20,000 cases reported in 20 countries around the world. Foreign media reported that 243 patients who were affected by the new coronavirus have successfully recovered and have been discharged from hospitals. Meanwhile, another plane carrying 323 Indians from Wuhan, China, arrived in New Delhi today. Foreign media also reported that 211 Indians had been brought to the country earlier. 8 new cases of the new coronavirus has been reported from the United States. The Pentagon stated that people from overseas are provided with all the necessary facilities for quarantine. Many countries around the world have already cancelled flights to China after a global emergency was declared due to the coronavirus. Reuters, quoting the Chinese Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, said that China has had an outbreak of a highly pathogenic strain of H5N1 bird flu at a farm in Shuoyang city of the southern province of Hunan. The case occurred on a farm with 7,850 chickens, 4,500 of which have died of the bird flu. The authorities have culled 17,828 poultry following the outbreak. Meanwhile, taking the situation into consideration, Chinese authorities have taken steps to cancel a flight MH713 from Kunming in China to Sri Lanka yesterday.
The Sri Lankan airline flight UL1423's operation to rescue the Sri Lankan students stranded in Wuhan will go down in history as a moment that brought honor to the country. This report was filed in honor of the brave team headed by pilot Captain Chaminda de Soisa that rescued the students from the epicenter of the viral outbreak.
Chief Pilot Captain Chaminda de Soisa was requested to lead the operation to rescue the students from Wuhan a week ago. Captain de Soisa, a father of two, accepted the challenge. Knowing very well the dangers the mission would entail, he requested his team at Sri Lankan Airlines to volunteer. Thereby Captain Anushka Jiwanta, co-pilot Shehan Senviratna and Ravin Ranatunga, along with a team of 16, volunteered to travel to Wuhan. Besides the challenge of traveling to the epicenter of a deadly virus that has shocked the world, the team faced many other challenges along the way as well. This is the first time that a Sri Lankan Airlines flight travelled to Wuhan airport. There was also no Sri Lankan affiliated institution at the airport to direct the flight. The team also faced the challenge where if the flight had to make an emergency landing, there was a question of whether any other country would grant permission for such a landing. Thereby, the Sri Lankan embassy in China had hired a private company to coordinate the operations at the airport. The team headed by Chief Pilot Chaminda de Soisa had also accepted the risk of having to return back to Colombo in the event of an emergency landing. Wing Commander Milinda Pereira from the Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Nuclear and Explosive Wing of the Air Force had given the team a special training. The Sri Lankan Airlines flight landed in Wuhan at 10 p.m. on Saturday after a 6-hour flight. By the time the aircraft landed, the Sri Lankan embassy had already transported the students to the airport and 8 staff members of Sri Lankan Airlines had escorted the students to their seats. We hope that the landing of the flight in Wuhan would be successful as there were many challenges we had to face. Landing an aircraft at an airport is a complicated procedure. We must plot the route. We must get clearance. The Sri Lankan students were in various districts, so we chose 3 students as leaders to lead separate teams, and we then got clearance for all of them. Many students and citizens from powerful countries in the world and in Asia were trapped in Wuhan, ending a historic journey. Flight UL1423 landed at the Mattala airport last morning, making Sri Lanka the 4th country to rescue their citizens from Wuhan, China.
Meanwhile, a revelation was made by Venerable Professor Madhagoda Abeti Satero that was held in Rajagiriya today.
I got to know that the principal of a certain school had informed that the children of the pilots of the plane who had taken our plane to Wuhan and rescued our Sri Lankan children were not to come to school for 14 days. All those people have been safe. They are not people who would want to get the virus voluntarily. They have worn the necessary safety gear. We have to inspect this principle in question. Nothing good will befall on the people who are not grateful.
Expired bakery goods and cakes including 1.5 tons of food was found at a Vattala storage facility today. A raid was conducted by the Consumer Affairs Authority and the Police Special Task Force.
The raid was carried out on a leading food manufacturer and restaurant chain. The Consumer Affairs Authority said that the expiry dates on the products were removed and the products had been relabeled. The expired ingredients with altered expiry dates were valued at 15 million rupees. Investigations revealed that the company which produced the food items and owns restaurants exports bakery goods and cake ingredients to the United States, Dubai and Germany and supplies food to 5-star hotels. Legal action is due to be taken against this particular company, and the equipment at the storage facility had been sealed and placed under police protection.
Former President Maithripala Sirisena met SLFP supporters in the Bisobandaragama area in Madirigiriya.
Ranil Wickremesinghe and I had a conflict. That is no secret. That was a conflict on principles. Gotabaya Rajapaksa is also facing a similar situation. Why? Because he doesn't have the power of the parliament. When I became president in 2015, the parliamentary power was held by Mahinda Rajapaksa. But he supported me for 1 year. The situation today is different. That is why the government has decided to dissolve the parliament in March and to hold an election at the end of April. It is in the month of October that the SLFP decided to support Gotabaya Rajapaksa. It is thanks to the massive support of the SLFP that they were able to obtain a majority. Now the new president doesn't have the strength to take the country forward without a strong parliament. We must set aside these party differences and move forward.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has ordered a comprehensive investigation into reports of allegations of financial irregularities said to have committed during the deal between Sri Lankan Airlines and Airbus SC for the purchase of aircrafts. Newsfirst reported on the manner in which a straw company registered in Brunei, owned by the wife of an executive of Sri Lankan Airlines, were offered bribes in millions of dollars.
The details pertaining to the transaction have been revealed in a report submitted to court by UK's Serious Fraud Office. The lady agent had dealt with Airbus when 6 A330 flights, 4 A350 flights and 4 flights on lease basis were ordered in a controversial deal in 2013. Airbus Aviation Group had offered a $16.84 million bribe to the straw company set up in Brunei, and at least $2 million were paid. In the context of the investigations by the French Parkway National Financier, the UK Serious Fraud Office and the US authorities, Airbus has reached an agreement in principle with the authorities. However, the previous UNP government cancelled the purchase of 4 A350 aircraft that Sri Lankan Airlines attempted to purchase. As a result, Sri Lankan Airlines had to pay a cancellation fee exceeding 98 million, which is a value that is approximately 14 billion rupees. While the bribe offered to the straw company owned by the wife of an executive of Sri Lankan Airlines was around 300 million rupees, the cancellation fee that the country had to pay was over 14 billion. While there is proof that bribes had been provided to a third-party company regarding this transaction, the country has paid large amounts as cancellation fees as well. It is against this backdrop that the President has ordered for a comprehensive probe into these transactions. Sri Lankan Airlines had also issued a statement in this regard. It read, Sri Lankan Airlines Limited has become aware of a judgment in the United Kingdom related to a charge of corruption in the purchase, lease of aircraft between the period 2011-2015 June. It said the chairman, with the concurrence of the board, has directed the management to cooperate fully with any governmental agency in the event of any investigation or prosecution. It added the management has also been directed to preserve and study all available internal documentation with a view to take all possible corrective future action.
JVP leader Anukumar Dissanayake also commented on the matter with regard to the Sri Lankan Airlines. Now, meanwhile, State Minister Kanchana Wijesekara made a revelation about a cinnamon smuggling racket in the Mathura district. He made this statement at an event in Walakanda today.
We must issue a warning. There is a mafia operating in the cinnamon cultivation industry. The main people involved in this mafia are in the Mathura district. We have identified them. This is a large-scale mafia carried out by one family. We have found the details of this. They are also being supported by a politician. As the Ministry of Plantation, we are ready to take some stern decisions against this, even if it is a member of our government who is helping them.
General Secretary of the United National Freedom Front, Maitri Gunaratne, said that the UNFF would contest the upcoming general elections separately. He made this statement speaking in Habaraduwa, Gaul.
ඉදිරි පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණයට එක්සත් ජාතික නිදහස් පෙරමුණ හැටියට අපි තරඟ කරන්න.
As the United National Freedom Front, we are ready to contest the upcoming parliamentary election. We decided to contest separately as these main 2 to 3 parties will be fielding the same 225 members of parliament for the general election. At this election, the people might send about 25 MPs home. The people do not have an alternative. as the people do not have an alternative, and because of that the people will have to elect these thieves, thugs and liquor traders back into parliament. We are taking steps to field clean candidates, candidates who love the country and candidates who can work for the country from all districts for the election. We will give an alternative to the people of this country.
අන්න ඒ නිසා තමයි අපි මේ රටේ ජනතාව ඡන්දය දෙන ජනතාව අපි දෙනවා විකල්පයක්.
UNP parliamentarian Dr. Harsha De Silva provided an extensive explanation about the forensic audit report on the bond scam at a media briefing held at the opposition leader's office today.
This forensic audit report was done by two top audit firms in the world. There are two basic audits in this. One is the transaction that occurred in the bond market. The other one is the transaction that took place in the stock market. All the phone call recordings, text messages, Viber messages, WhatsApp messages, all the money that was looted by hundreds, 300s, 500s and 700s, all of these information are in the report. There are worse phone recordings than Anjan Ramanayaka's ones. The files that were deleted have been reopened. Can you remember, we addressed a person as Fat Man in the Presidential Commission of Inquiry. Fat Man has 15,955 active documents. There are 354,672 deleted documents. In addition to all of these findings, they have held discussions with people. There are interviews. There is something missing in this. They were not only able to talk to Arjuna Mahendran, but they have all of his digital assets. They are in possession of his phone, iPad, desktop and laptop. So they were able to find these under digital forensics. The second matter is about the former governor of the central bank, Ajit Nivard Cabral. He is there, but they have not found any of his electronic devices.
Dr. Harsha De Silva also explained about the loss that was incurred by the bond scam.
As of 27 February 2015, the minimum loss was 1.106 billion rupees. The maximum loss was at 1.114 billion rupees. They have looked into all suspicious issuances of bonds till the 29th of March. According to that, a loss of 38.9 million has been incurred from the first one, 91.8 million from the second, 675 million from the third, 611 million from the fourth and 1.495 billion from the fifth. The above was the loss the government incurred. What was criticized was that there was no theft from 2015 to 2016, but the minimum loss incurred by the government from the 27th February 2015 to 29th March 2016 is at 6.633 billion rupees. The maximum loss is at 9.681 billion rupees. These numbers were released to the general public for the first time through this forensic audit report. All the indirect connections through various investigations we saw on media are not mentioned in this. That is a different story. The CID should be investigating as to what happened to the money.
ඒවා වංචනික මුදල් වලට සිද්ධ වුණේ කියන එක CID එකට ගන්න ඕන.
Meanwhile, MP Mujibur Rahman expressed his views about the bond scam at a press briefing held at the Sirikota.
2015ට කලින් වෙච්ච අලාභය
who will be held responsible for the losses of 10.47 billion suffered through the issuance of bonds and the losses caused to the EPF that amounted to 10 billion rupees. How are they planning on getting this money back? Who will be held responsible for this? Some people are saying now that this is not a theft and it is a loss. So they are trying to say that what happened in 2015 was a theft and what happened before that was not a theft. They are saying that they suffered losses after engaging in business. We know that people suffer losses while doing business. They might suffer losses in the first year and the second year, but they cannot be recording losses continuously. If they are suffering losses continuously, then the person who is doing it does not know how to carry out a business, or they are trying to depict there are transactions that cause losses while they had amassed undue profits through these transactions. We would like to point out that the loss suffered between 2005 and 2015 was a theft. They are trying to label it as a loss and cover up that theft.
MP Namal Rajapaksa participated in the Badula district Balamandala meeting last afternoon. Journalists questioned the minister about the bond scam investigations.
We will definitely conduct a clear investigation about the bond scam. We will arrest whoever is involved in this scam, no matter where they are hiding in the world, and we will let police enforce the law independently for perpetrators.
JVP leader Andrakumar Dissanayake expressed the following views regarding the Airbus transaction.
Mahinda Rajapaksa signed a deal with a French company to purchase 10 Airbus aircraft and to lease 4 Airbus aircraft in 2013 in Paris. This deal included one VVIP aircraft. The That aircraft included a room and showers. We pointed out that there is a massive scam happening here. Afterwards, in 2018, they cancelled the agreement. They stole from this when the deal was struck. They stole from it when the deal was cancelled. Charita Ratwatta cancelled the deal. He had appointed his brother to Sri Lankan Airlines, and his brother had sent him an SMS asking what should be done about this. Charita Ratwatta sent an SMS back to his brother saying, do it. They robbed when making the deal as well as when cancelling the deal. But many accepted that there was an irregularity when the deal was cancelled and did not accept that it was the case when the deal was struck. What has happened now? Although this was not revealed in a court in Sri Lanka, it has been revealed at a court in England. A case on the corruption surrounding the purchase of these Airbuses is ongoing at the High Court in England. Details about our country are being revealed at a court in England. In 2013, the Chief Executive Officer Chandrasena had asked for a commission of 16 million US dollars, which is 3 billion rupees. 360 million of this commission had been transferred to a company in Brunei. This company has been registered under the name of the wife of the former chairman of Sri Lankan Airlines. This is the reason why Sri Lankan is an institution that is suffering losses in billions a day. When it comes to the bond scam, both of these parties are involved in it. Even in the Airbus deal, the first group stole when entering into the agreement, the second group stole when they cancelled the agreement. This is the money of the people. They are asking for a two-thirds majority to be extremely powerful and extremely corrupt.
Now, several traffic plans are in place in view of the Independence Day celebration rehearsals that are ongoing in Colombo. And a reminder to our viewers that several roads will be closed tomorrow around the Independence Square from 7 AM to 12 noon. The roads that are closed are Nidahas Mawatha, Vidya Mawatha, Maitland Place, Maitland Crescent, Kannangir Mawatha, Marcus Fernando Mawatha, Padanam Mawatha, Vijayarama Road and Horton Place. Meanwhile, a portion of the road joining Dickmans Road and Havelock Road has been closed due to a cave-in. News First, Sanita Senanayaka reports.
Right now, I'm at the Dr. Lester James Paris Mawatha in Colombo 5. As you can see, the part of the road you see behind me caved down hours ago due to a drainage problem. According to authorities, no one was hurt because of this problem, and the authorities also would like to inform anyone commuting in and out of Colombo through the Havelock Road and the Duplication Road could anticipate heavy traffic until this problem is solved. I'm Sanita Senanayaka reporting for News First.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Arundhati Mudannayak. Good night.